Alright guys, welcome back to All Things Outdoors. Today we're out here at our beach access. Goes down to the beach. Oh, we got a big seaweed wash up going on. Seaweed. But anyway, here we're at the mimosa tree, and as you can see, it's in full bloom. Oh, it looks like they trimmed it. Now it's not coming over the dock, over the stairs the way it was. I have a feeling it'll grow back. Yep, it already is starting to. Good. Probably be back right over the same way it was. Probably in 2 or 3 years. Beautiful tree. Come up here so we can identify it better. Alright, so here we have the mimosa tree. So you can tell what it is by its nice feathery leaves, which look like this. Very pretty. Love its feathery leaves. Very pretty. And in the early summer to midsummer, so like June and July, the whole, like half of June and half of July, so like for like a month, this thing blooms these lovely pink pom-pom flowers, like little pom-poms. You can see we got a whole lot more blooms coming up. It's almost in full bloom. Might show you it next week when it's in full bloom and all of these are open. And anyway, it's just a lovely tree. Absolutely love it. Especially these leaves. They're so feathery and graceful. What a graceful looking tree. Wish they didn't trim it. The trimming makes it look ugly to me. But whatever. It'll grow right back. So these blooms have a very nice sweet smell to them. Very sweet, very fragrant, and they're like little pom-poms. I don't know if you guys love that, but I do. Isn't that just gorgeous? So pretty. Yeah, so this tree is from Asia, and it was imported to the US in the late 1800s, or actually in the late 1700s, as an ornamental. People used it in gardens. In some places, this is considered an invasive species because it's a very fast-growing tree. This is probably only a 20-year-old tree. So you can see it's pretty big. Probably like 30 feet tall. Here's a small malformed leaf. Is deformed. Very feathery looking. Looks like a feather, kind of like a fern. They're absolutely lovely. This tree can grow from anywhere from like 1 to 3 feet per year, so very fast growing. Very fast growing. And it is still used for ornamental purposes because of its lovely leaves and blooms, which bloom for like a whole month, sometimes even a month and a half. They bloom for a long time, and they do well in pretty much all soil types. Sandy, clay, fertile soil. They like acidic soil. They do not really like basic soil though. These flowers smell so good, and you can make a sort of tea with these flowers. And this tree does have some edible. This tree is used for medicinal purposes. When you have new leaves that are just coming out, they are edible. So like this leaf here, we like this. These new leaves, not these leaves, these are too old now. They're not as tender anymore. But if we come out and if there's a new leaf, those are edible. The bark is used for medicinal purposes, and so are the flowers. And later in the year, these flowers will turn into seed pods, which we don't have any here, but we will show you them later in the year. See those new leaves growing right there on where the branches were cut? Those are edible. And the flowers are used for medicinal purposes too. If I ever find a seedling of one of these trees, we'll grow it and show you guys how to plant one. These trees, so they're great for all that kind of stuff. And the blooms are great for pollinators like bees and hummingbirds. Absolutely love this tree. The ladybug on one of the leaves over there. Zoom in. Might be able to see it. That little dot on that leaf. It's a ladybug. So pollinators love this, and birds will make nests in this tree. And I like this tree. Definitely recommend it for your garden. For gardens and landscaping. This is a great tree. Grows very nicely, and it likes full sun to part shade. It's not a super big tree. Only gets to be around 40 feet tall at the tallest. But that's usually rare. It usually grows to be like 20 to 30 feet tall. It's kind of got this umbrella-like structure. Not really tall like an oak tree, kind of like an umbrella tree. It's like a little umbrella, and these make nice shade, but the shade is dappled because of the feathery leaves, and it can help, like if you want a nice centerpiece, these will do well. And there's different types of mimosa. There's the chocolate mimosa, which is kind of a newer tree. Only just figured out how to make one. Maybe you guys have one. I don't. And they come in pink, like the regular mimosas come in pink, like this one. And sometimes they come in white, but it's completely random. Sometimes they're white and sometimes they're pink. The white ones are caused by a mutation, a genetic mutation that makes it so that the white pigment doesn't fill in. And this tree tends to grow and fill in very nicely. So if you have an empty space that you want to fill, you can definitely plant a mimosa tree. This type of tree can get some diseases, but they're not super common until the tree gets a little older. So don't worry too much about diseases, but they can get diseases in the tree. There's a certain type of bacteria that if it gets into the tree, it basically cuts off circulation to the entire rest of the tree. So you basically will see these large like scars almost on the tree with like stuff leaking out of them. Pretty easy to recognize. If that happens, there's nothing really you can do and your tree's probably gonna die. But yeah, you don't really know what's gonna happen until these get older. But other than that, they're a nice tree and I highly recommend them. So if you do plant one, just, kind of make sure you give it the right care. And these do not need much water, and they are actually quite drought tolerant once they're established. And they like a lot of different types of soil, so they're very easy to care for. They don't really need much care at all. They kind of just grow by themselves. Don't really need much of anything. Remember when I went down to North Carolina, the house we used to rent used to have 2 mimosa trees, and they looked really good. We don't really rent that house anymore. The house that we rent now, I think, has one, but I'm not sure. But these are absolutely lovely trees. Have lovely leaves, lovely blooms. Let me know down in the comments if you would plant one or not. I absolutely love the mimosa, and I would definitely plant one. Yeah, anyway, that'll be about all for today's video. So, once again, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And be sure to put that down in the comments below, saying that you did that. We will see you guys on the next adventure. Wow, that is just beautiful.